What's up, everyone? You are now tuned in to the Maria Cozette Show. I have a very special guest with me today, an entrepreneur, pharmacist, and hip-hop artist. So stay tuned for a great interview. And of course, to find out more about the show, visit mariacozette.com/television. Stay with us. I have an awesome guest with me today. He's been a longtime friend of mine, extremely talented, and yes, he's a multifaceted professional because he is a doctor of pharmacy and also a very successful hip-hop artist. Hello, Armin.
Hi.
Hi, I'm good. So today it's a little different. I've interviewed you in the past as an artist because most of everybody knows you as Armin, but what many people may not know is that you're a pharmacist as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about your educational journey and that in obtaining a doctorate in pharmacy.
On my journey, huh? So to give you a little background, I was born in Glendale, but I was raised in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So I graduated high school over there, and then I decided to move back to LA.
Right.
So I moved here, enrolled into Glendale College, you know what I mean? And I was always into music, right? Like for as long as I can remember, just like obsessed with music and kind of gravitating towards hip hop, of course. So like the late high school years, I was kind of like trying to write raps and, you know, just kind of like figuring it out. So when I moved over here, my goal was always to do music, but I kind of also didn't even know better than, you know, obviously we got to go to college. That's how we were all raised, you know, especially in our community. So, you know, went to Glendale College, then transferred to UCLA. I graduated UCLA with a physiological science major.
Nice.
Which is basically 90% of the class was pre-med, you know? And at that time, I thought of maybe being pre-med also. But that's when I was heavily starting to do music. And I was like, I don't think I could be like a successful hip hop artist and a physician, you know what I mean? So I always felt like a lot of professional careers, they require dedication, obviously, but I felt like a physician, that's like a lifetime commitment, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you know, I just kind of started seeing like what's the next best thing. And school-wise, if I was really interested in something, it was medicine related, you know, like the human body related. So I looked into pharmacy and applied, and then I got into Loma Linda University.
Nice.
I went there and got my, you know, PharmD degree.
Nice.
So.
I love it. That's awesome that you did that. And we have similarities in that I also wanted to just pursue music 100% all the time. But it's good that you had that support system and encouragement to also pursue your education.
Right.
Because now you're who you are, you know, Dr. Hariri.
Right.
I love it.
A lot of people in music don't know that.
Yeah.
And then you know, when I started working as a pharmacist, I kind of realized, to be honest, that this is just not really what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I always encourage education and, you know, obviously going to school, going to college, getting your degree is great. But then when you go on to a professional level, I personally now, and it's kind of easy to say in hindsight, obviously, but I feel like, you know, is it really what you want to do in life? You know what I mean? I had like a real burning desire for this music thing. Like I knew early on that my passion was really strong and I wanted to be an artist. So, and if I even look back with all the people I started making music with, most of them kind of fell off and went, you know.
And you kept going.
I kept going, and most people don't, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's a long journny.
Very long and arduous journey.
You know what I'm saying? So that was just like, but it was my passion, so I kept going. So yeah. But it all kind of worked out at the end.
It definitely worked out, yes. And so how did you find music nurturing, you know, your education or your pursuit of, you know, a doctorate in pharmacy? Did you actively perform while you were going to school?
Yeah, absolutely. I was heavily like into music while I was going to school. You know, I remember a lot of funny scenarios. I remember studying for finals on a plane. I just had a show in like Toronto, and I was flying back, and it was finals week in pharmacy school the next day, you know. At graduation of pharmacy school, when they were giving like the honor awards, they actually kind of made a joke, and they said the award for student most likely not seen in class, and then they called my name, you know. But I was always just kind of good at school, you know, if that makes any sense. So
It's okay, you could say it being modest.
Yeah,
you were naturally smart. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I guess if, you know, there's book smart, there's street smart, you know, but at school I was pretty good. So, I was kind of able to handle both, if that
Right.
makes any sense,
I get it.
I was performing, I was, school in the morning, studio at night, and just, kind of juggling it all.
Making it happen, yeah. And so not only are you a successful artist, you're a successful pharmacist, but you're also an entrepreneur. You own 2 pharmacies, a retail store with amazing merchandise, and a lot more that we're going to get into later in the interview. And so when did you know that it's just not enough to be just an artist or just a pharmacist, and you sought out to do more with your life?
Right. Well, let me tackle it one by one. Just a pharmacist, actually, that's what I was trying to say earlier. So when I started working as a pharmacist, I realized this is not really my passion, and I feel like if you really want to go all the way with one thing, you kind of have to really dedicate yourself, So I quit working as a pharmacist like, 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that, and I just went full-fledged into music. Now, of course, at this point, I have a pharmacy license, and after a couple of years, I was able to make that work for me. That's more the business mind and the entrepreneur in me. I met like the right partners to start and open my own pharmacy.
Right.
And kind of build that, But as far as, the other retail stores, that was just being an independent artist, When you're an independent artist and, you don't have a major label paying for everything, you kind of got to figure out not only a substitute income, because music itself, doesn't bring that much money, especially these days, right? It's not like we selling CDs and stuff like that. But it's just really just building a brand,
Absolutely.
So we started merchandising and really just grew into this like indie kind of clothing line, you know what I mean? Of course, it all started online. And then, me and my team members one day, actually, they brought it up, Tina and Kodo, my 2 partners. They were like, yo, we need to like open up an actual store. But it's more than just like a store where we sell merch. It's like a creative space. That's what we call it, the Pentagon, LA, where we kind of try to bring that hip hop, that cool kind of vibe into our community, like I am kind of the first one, of our background to kind of do it at this level. And I always kind of see what our community lacks, as far as that, because there's the hunger and the thirst for it in the younger generation. Everybody loves hip hop. A lot of people want to be involved, but kind of don't know how. Same way I didn't know how, you know what I'm saying?
But you found a way,
I kind of found my way, and we kind of try to, create a space where people come and kind of, just a place for creatives. So everything in the store is movable. So we do like listening parties, release parties.
I know it's awesome, the events that you host there, and all the art.
We do a lot of events, we do like art galleries. We do, podcasts come and they broadcast live from there.
Right.
The recording studios in the back in the Glendale location. Just recently we opened our 2nd location in North Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, we're just trying to bring that vibe into our community, and it's been great.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot more to talk to you about, but I do want my viewers to check out an amazing song called Living Diaspora, collaboration with Jacob Arman. This is Armin and Jacob Arman with Living Diaspora, and then stay with us for more of the Maria Cozette Show.
The diaspora is fighting for you, we lying hoarded. They try to divide us all, but we shine with the brightest aura. I tell the story of how my people survived the horror. They twist the stories in history and rewrite it for you. Supply the water, my roots firm in the fertilest ground. Is furthering how it's next levels we try to grow to. So sayonara, no more excuses or stagnant thinking. Corrupted leaders that steady dragging us till we sinking. Just take a look, man, what a beautiful sight to see a history so rich and a future so bright. I tell the mirror, we gotta change, make use of your life. And ain't no time to waste, so fuck it, let's do it tonight. Yeah, a vicious cycle of living idle. They bitter and spiteful and changing colors like vitiligo. We live in Michael. Made a choice and I've been murdering since. Anyone that go against is turning purple as Prince.
They won't see it coming. Won't know what's on the way. This underdog is here to stay. Only 10 days left for us to play.
This for my kings and my queens, that's in God's eyes. It's so revival, the flow is vital and cold as ice. Though every bar I wrote has been under oath like an open Bible. A known disciple, my wounds are open with deep scars. Mean it's purple hearted, my heart is frozen, won't defrost. I'm gaining from each loss. It's all in the mind, I stay evading them weak thoughts. I bench press the weight off your chest, but this isn't fitness, feel it. The studio is my gym, cause I lift your spirits, yeah. Sometimes I'm lost like nobody sharing my pain, but see, I'm trying to find my rhythm like Jacob Armin at age of 3. But say la vie, ain't no saving me. I got the survivor's genetics, you ain't fucking with the DNA in me. A humble warrior never will cast stones. Velvet like the revolution back home, that's my backbone. So bless the motherland, the diaspora dying for you. Staying true from Beirut to California.
They won't see it coming. Won't know what's on the way. This underdog is here to stay. Only 10 days left for us to play.
This for my kings and my queens, that's in God's eyes. Now we God's pride, yeah.
They won't see it coming. Won't know what's on the way. This underdog is here to stay. Only thing that's left for us to claim is victory.
We're back, and you are watching The Maria Cozette Show. My guest today is Dr. Armin Hariri, aka Armin.
Yes.
Yes.
Not too many people call me Dr. Hariri.
Yeah, I love it.
You get a fist bump for that.
It's dope. I love it. And this is where we can say all of that.
That's right.
So that video is just awesome. I love the song, the production, I mean, everything about it, the music video. How did that all come together?
Live in Diaspora. Yeah, that was Jacob Armin. Technically, it's his song. So me and him been friends for a long time. You know, he's really like, legendary musician. And we always talked about collaborating, and it's kind of like, I guess it's all about timing. So finally we did it this year. He's known as a drummer, but then he does the Sand Tour too, So he created that beat and he brought it to me, and then I kind of came up with the whole concept of the song, wrote my verses. And then he brought in Krista Marina, the girl that sang on the chorus, really beautiful voice. So, that's how we kind of all brought it together.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And so, you are the only Armenian hip hop artist that has appeared on American television and radio. From that to the Open Wounds movement that has gone viral on a global level. And so if you ever see any open wounds, anything related to that, that's all this man right here. So what advice would you give aspiring Armenian artists that want to break into the American music industry?
My advice, ironically, because we're on this show talking about professional life and artistry, but kind of speaking out of experience, I feel like I was kind of always taught, the way we raised, you want to do music, cool, but it's good to have this to fall back on and things like that. And again, it kind of worked out for me, and I'm not complaining, but looking back, if you really have that passion that's all you want to do. And growing up, I feel like I had that, you know what I mean? But I kind of, again, being the first one to kind of do this in this community, there was no mentorship, there was no guidance. We talked about this off the air too, like today is more the era of like the entrepreneur, the independent, there's Shark Tank on TV and Gary Vee on your Instagram yelling at you, and like, there's all this knowledge coming at young kids, reinforcing the fact that they could follow their dreams and things like that. So I just feel like you know, school is important, education is important to a certain degree, but if you want to be an artist, you got to just fully dedicate yourself
Yes.
and understand that it takes 100% dedication. You know, if you want to be that next Kendrick Lamar, that Drake, that like top level, you know, if you just want to do music, maybe even big in the Armenian community or whatever, you know, great. You can probably do that and do a bunch of other stuff as well. But if you really want to go for it, kind of the way I always wanted to go for it, just go all out, you know?
Yeah, you have to
It's
eat, live, breathe, everything.
everything. It's all about how much you believe in yourself at the end of the day. And, you
is.
know, there's a lot of people around you that will not understand, they will not support, and it's not because you know, they have good intentions, but they just don't understand. You know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
your parents, it's gonna be your own family, your own friends. They're gonna think you crazy, but you only know. You know, if you believe in yourself and you have that drive, just go for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I mean, I have to commend you, and I've said this to you time and again. I am so proud of everything that you've accomplished,
Thank
whether
you.
it's
Well,
music.
likewise, you know,
Yeah, oh, thank you.
we kind of came up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you know, just shine on and keep going. And I'm so happy
Thank
that
you.
you have that in you, that drive. And it's the passion for music that really drives
Right.
you. And it's beautiful to see from a distance, you know?
Appreciate you.
What are some projects you're working on right now?
So I'm working on the next album right now. It's definitely gonna be my biggest project. I can't say too much, but I got some
It's
big
okay,
names
yeah.
involved.
Nice.
I've posted here and there that I've been in the studio with Scott Storch on the production side, so that's already
That
major.
man's amazing.
Right, one of the, you know, if people that might not know, literally one of the greatest hip hop producers ever. You know, he dominated the 2000s, but then now again in this era, the last I would say 3-4 years, he's one of the most sought after
Yeah.
producers as well.
Very
so,
talented.
Yeah, really blessing to be working with him. So it's coming. I got some special things in the
Things are
works.
coming.
Of course, bunch of videos, tours, and things like that come along with it. But I'm in
Yeah.
album mode right now, you know? So,
Yeah, it's amazing. You always have something going on. So what does your work-life balance look like? How
you
do
know,
you handle
it's
all
kind
of
of all over the place. I always look tired, you know what I'm saying?
it? You look very fresh right
No,
now, actually.
I'm kidding, but yeah, you know, I just, you know, it kind of depends on what cycle I'm on artist-wise. So
Yeah.
now I'm in album mode, so it's a lot of studio, and then, you know, you kind of balance the rest. Once an album is out, you have something to promote, then it's, you know, a lot of performances, a lot of interviews, a lot of things like that, you
Right.
know. And then the side businesses, you know, I kind of check in and do my part, you know.
Yeah.
I have a strong team. I
You
think
really
that's
do.
important. I do in the pharmacy side, I do on the Pentagon LA side, Pentagon Records side. So I think that's another piece of advice, you know. When we both kind of started doing music, I don't think either one of us really had an idea of having a real solid team.
So important.
People that know what they're doing business-wise, that are experienced in that industry, in the
Yeah.
field, you know. So surrounding yourself with like-minded people and just going for it, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, your team is amazing,
Yeah,
Tina,
thank you.
Kodo. And they really share your vision, and they're equally as excited and passionate as you are.
100%.
Yeah, it's so important to have a good team. So you've graciously accepted to, you know, bless my set with your music. So you're
Yes.
going to perform.
Yes.
And just quickly before you do, you're going to perform Open Wounds' epic song. The song has blown up on so many different levels all around the world.
Right.
How were you first inspired to write this track?
You know, I always say hip hop is the voice of the struggle, the voice of the people. Like that's how the genre originated, you know. And you know me, I'm a hip hop purist. I'm a purist of the
Yeah.
culture, and I love the art form. So me coming in, kind of as you know, the Armenian, whether it's the first or one of few, you know what I mean. I felt like I had to tell the story of my people, you know. So it all really started with just one song, but you know, when magic just happens in the studio, that's kind of just what
Yeah.
happened with this song, you know. Like, it just came together like in an amazing way. And the weird thing was that obviously I thought Armenians are gonna like it, but even all the non-Armenian fans
lot
I
of
have, it would be in their
non-Armenians.
top favorite songs of mine as
Yeah.
well. It's just something everybody feels, everybody relates to, you know. And then of course, when we started the movement, you know, again, that wasn't planned. It was just kind of like an organic thing, you know what I mean? When we shot the video, I was like, yo, we should probably do a shirt with it, and then I wear it in the video,
Right.
and put lyrics of the song, basically, Our Wounds Are Still Open. And, you know, as soon as that video was out, everyone was asking about the shirt, you know, like, how can we get that shirt? And we couldn't even keep up with the demand at first, you know? So we kind of like learning as we go, trying to catch up. But we realized that, you know, the shirt in combination with the song and the video and everything is a really powerful
Very
tool
powerful,
to
yeah.
kind of like spread the message. And as soon as we were able to get it to some of our, you know, industry celebrity friends, it just kind of blew up, you know,
Yeah.
it took over. And at first we started like, okay, so how are we gonna do this? We started just donating the proceeds to like different organizations in the community. But then we were able to, in I want to say 16 or 17, officially became its own nonprofit, you know,
Right.
Hope and Wounds. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a hell of a journey, and it's really dope.
I love it. You're a philanthropist. You can add that to your
Add
roster
that.
of things
That's
you
right.
do. Yeah. And before we go to the video, thank you for representing Armenians as you do in American media, getting
Sure.
all these non-Armenian artists to know about the Armenian genocide and all of that, you know, through music, through the most
Absolutely.
powerful thing.
That's what I feel. You know, I always say like I'm a pharmacist, but I'd rather heal people through I'd rather heal people through music than medication. You know.
Beautiful.
So.
Well said. And
That's
with
right.
that, we're going to see Armin perform. So here it is.
A bit of mystery lies in history's eyes, cause in time the facts and the figures get twisted with lies. The devil tried to kiss us goodnight, but he hides. That's how a proven fact is simply denied. I am a victim, victim of time, victimized by the victory of viciousness. The system revised. A century's past, nothing could bring them to life, but our memories last. At least admit to your crimes. I look these little kids and they rise as they watching their mother's demise. She's cut, blood drips from her thighs. She was pregnant, ripping her stomach and slit from the sides, just so they could guess on the sex of the kid that's inside. Had us walking and walking the blistering sun, sands of the desert as far as our vision can run. Had us walking in circles, walk till we starve. Oh Lord, I hate him, forgive me, it's wrong, but I'm scarred. Planted the seeds of hate in my heart, keeps growing my heart, beats slow in my heart, just keeps hoping, cause we'll never, ever give up on our cause, cause we owe it to all the people we lost. Cause we owe it to all the people we lost. That's why we never, ever give up on our cause, cause we owe it to all the people we lost. Yeah. Refuse to give in, our wounds are dripping like bloody hell. From brutal whippings to crucifixions with rusty nails. But who will listen? The truth is hidden. Massacres and cruel killings, snatching our future kingdom and commonwealth. Where is the promised help? They distance us from it. Well, is this what you wanted? It's just making me sick to my stomach, cause Hitler has done it afterwards, following the Ottoman's example. Can you handle me quoting this bastard's words? Cause seeing 39, this how your friend spoke. After all, who remembers Armenians today? End quote. Forgive and forget, no history repeats. This leech draining this let go, this battle against hope. Gather around, we light our candles in crowds, land on the ground each year, standing so proud together, holding banners and shout, but it's spreading through empty space, doesn't travel the sound. Nobody wants to hear us. The population just can't see through the mess. Where you treat one case determines what people will do next. Souls can't peacefully rest till the killer's secrets confessed, buried in our holy lands that now we don't even possess. Taking part in my phrases, I'm blatant. All these nations are shaking the arms of Satan for the sake of army bases, praying to God and make him admit it. We're still hoping, but they still won't. That's why these wounds are still open. Yeah, cause they still won't, and that's why these wounds are still open. I said they still won't, and that's why these wounds are still open.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What a song. Thank you, and stay tuned for more of the Maria Cozette Show. Know the Greats, where we spotlight a legend. Aram Khachataryan created the first Armenian ballet music, symphony, concerto, and film score. He is considered the most renowned Armenian composer of the 20th century, and to Armenians, a national treasure. I always say that you are born with the music in your bones. And so, without any prior musical training, Khachataryan enrolled in the Gnesin Musical Institute. His first major work, the Piano Concerto of 1936, popularized his name within and outside the Soviet Union. Khachataryan is best known for his ballet music, and the two most popular being Gayane and Spartacus. Saber dance from Guyana has been used extensively in popular culture and covered by a number of musicians worldwide. Khachataryan's style is characterized by colorful harmonies, captivating rhythms, virtuosity, improvisations, and sensuous melodies. In 1950, Khachataryan began conducting and started teaching composition at the Gnesin Institute and later at the Moscow Conservatory. He toured in and around 30 countries, including Italy, United Kingdom, Latin America, and the United States. His January 1968 visit to the U.S. capital of Washington, D.C. was significant in that he conducted the National Symphony Orchestra. Tim Ashley wrote in The Guardian in 2009, and I quote, "Khachataryan's violin concerto is immensely attractive, full of his trademark Armenian folk flourishes and the swaying hypnotic andante that is notably beautiful." The Art of Giving, where we spotlight a charitable organization. The AYF is committed to the moral, social, and intellectual advancement of the Armenian youth. Oftentimes, I am asked by non-Armenians as to why Armenians are so patriotic, so consumed with preserving their culture and language. The answer is simple. When a people have faced constant persecution, massacre, and stood on the brink of extinction, they commit their lives to strengthen and conserve their cultural identity, instilling the same patriotism in their children. That is why organizations like AYF are so important. Since most of the Armenian population lives outside of the homeland, there is a tremendous need to keep them rooted. AYF's activities include a variety of projects aimed at advancing the homeland and shaping the community leaders of tomorrow. Projects include Homeland Initiatives, a publication, Armenian genocide awareness related activities, civic engagement, Advocacy Day, voter registration, sports, and the ever so infamous AYF camp. AYF is truly unique and necessary in the diaspora. With its multifaceted projects ranging from humanitarian work, youth empowerment, and education, it makes the perfect fit for a spotlight on the art of giving. That's a wrap for the Maria Cozette Show. Much love to my guest today, Armin, or shall I say Dr. Armin Hariri. Check out all the amazing things that he's doing. And of course, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and check out archive episodes on the YouTube channel. Well, whatever the sacrifice, take it from me and just do it. Remember to always stay creative and you'll get through it. Maria out. Peace.